Morning, morning, morning. Welcome to your Monday morning. Welcome to my Grizzly Monday morning voice. I don't know what's going on there. I hope that you had amazing weekends. I mean, it was quite a good weekend on the scale of weekends recently. So, yay! I hope that you're feeling good and energized and ready for your week ahead. Today we have got a lovely drawing to start us off, to kick us off. So hopefully you will find it relaxing and it will bring you to a state of, all right, I'm ready for the week. Let's get on with the drawing, shall we? I'm going to spin you around. Bum, bum. I've got slightly different setup today, so I'm trying not to bash my chair into my stand. Okay, I'm using my fine liner pen as usual, just my rotary, whatever fine liner you can use. I'm going to do some painting afterwards, so this pen doesn't smudge with water. It's waterproof. And we're just going to start by drawing two lines. Well, no, let's start with one line. So one line that's kind of like from the top right corner and comes across the page like that. So just a swoop of the hand. It doesn't really matter how it is for you. I'm a little bit on the wonk here, aren't I? Well, you're just gonna have to have a wonky. Can I do that? That makes it better, doesn't it? I know. I'll get my beautiful thing from my gorgeous friend Lindsay Knight. Check her out. Hi. That makes it a little bit better, doesn't it? Okay. So actually, this is quite a good inspiration for today too. Not giving too much away. Okay, so we do one sweep across, and then we're gonna do another sweep. We're gonna go parallel to the top of the line, so parallel, parallel, parallel. But then we're gonna split it, woo, and have a sweep coming out like that. So it's like a funnel shape or something. And then we are going to thicken these lines too and form a V shape here. So starting quite thin at the end and coming a little bit thicker there. And the same with this one. Thin to thick. Nice. Okay. And then we're just going to draw kind of randomly shapes which are like lip shapes, kind of. Here. Thank you. So when I say lips, I mean like you're drawing really basic two kind of lip shapes. Let me do an example. So a curved line there and a curved line there, and then a little split in the middle. Lips. And then you could do another one, maybe with a little more of a smile going on. Lips. And then randomly down here, maybe I'll do a big one. So you're just drawing lots of smiles for your Monday morning. Let's do a really smiley one. And see, they're all a little bit random. They don't have to be exact. But it's quite relaxing, isn't it? Drawing smiles. Maybe you've got a smile on your face as you draw them too. They say, well, isn't it proven that just simply smiling can send chemicals to your brain to make you feel happy or less sad, a little bit happier? So notice I'm kind of just placing them where I think looks good, but you can place them wherever you think looks good. We're going to be drawing something underneath them too. So we're going to leave a little bit of kind of space around, but I'm going to continue to add a few more, I think. And I'm just kind of darting around the page. Placing them where I feel they look nice. Maybe do another little one here. Nice. Okay. Now we can continue to do this. If you're enjoying it, do not fear. We can do more. But I'm going to also draw some shapes underneath. And the shapes that we're drawing underneath are going to be kind of like big oval shapes with the little knobbly bits on each end. So I'll start here. I'll just draw a big oval as if it's pointing down, leaving a little gap at the bottom. And it's going behind that smile, so it goes like that. So I've left a little gap there and a little gap there because I wanted to draw a little knobbly bit. Little knobbly bit. What is it? What is it? I'm going to draw a little cross there at the bottom. I'll show you a little close up. Little cross on the knobbly bit. Oval. Now I'm going to do maybe 4 or 5 of these shapes, all kind of pointing down as if they're hanging, but they could also be at a kind of angle as well. So let's draw one. It's kind of an angle, but still not on its side, you know. It can be a little bit slimmer or a little bit wider, it doesn't really matter. And a little cross at the bottom one there too. Then maybe there'll be one behind this one coming up from here. So going behind the leaf first, and then it would be coming behind here and coming a little knobbly bit there and around. You can always play with placing things behind and in front of each other, just drawing the things that you want in the front first. That we drew our smiles or leaves. You could call them leaves too, but I'm calling them smiles today. Then let's do one coming out of this section up here. So coming around, leaving a little gap back around here. And then a knobbly bit there, a knobbly bit there. See how casual I'm doing this? And then maybe I'll add another one coming behind here. So there's no rules. Have as many as you want. Like that. Is that enough, or should we add one more? I'm going to add one more coming behind all of this bit. Monday voice is just there. It's crazy. So that one is a big boy coming behind all of them, and you can't see the knobbly bit there because it's behind it. And I think that's enough lemons for me. That's right, guys, it's lemons. And now you're free to decorate this as much as you want. So I think we need a little bit more foliage here. I must also say that this has been inspired. I mean, we've drawn lemons before. They're very relaxing to draw. But I saw this artist on Instagram. I'm going to type her Instagram handle. It is Jess Miller Draws. Jess Miller Draws from LA, California. who I saw her artwork on Instagram scrolling, and I thought, oh yes, that's a good Monday morning. So if you want to look at her, I think it's one of her most recent posts. You can see the original work that I've been inspired by today. But if you want to like not be influenced by that and you want to do your own thing first, then do your own thing, and then once you're finished, go and look at it. Because sometimes when you look at a reference picture, you're tempted to just copy, which is all good and well. It's a very good technique for learning and developing your skills. But if you're in a flow and you don't need inspiration, you kind of got going, I would recommend waiting until you have finished. I just put a little circle at the top there to make it kind of a 3D little branch. And now I'm just going to keep on adding smiles and maybe a few more branches or suggestions of branches coming out too. Now, of course, I'm drawing with pen, so I'm just going to draw over the marks. I might just do some little dots as well. Cute. I'm just drawing over the marks that I've drawn, but if you are using pencil and you're a bit of a perfectionist, of course, you can rub things out to make them look purposeful, put things in front of other things. Maybe you interpret these leaves as lips, and you will paint them as if they're lips. Maybe do some kind of lip detail, Let's see if we can do that and make it look a bit weird. Just giving it a bit of 3D. Does that look like... Okay, I don't think that was very successful. Let's just do lots of dots on that one. So that leaf is very detailed. Got a little bit of texture going on there. And maybe let's draw... Wait, that's the wrong way. I want to go this way for the leaf that's hanging down. I don't know. If you want to turn them into leaves and give them stems. I'm not going to do it for everyone, but maybe just every now and again, give it a bit of something. I really don't like this. In fact, I'm going to have to colour it in. Sorry, everyone. Maybe I'll just do a half. Oh, that's quite nice. See, sometimes mistakes lead to something good. Colour in half of the leaf there, the bottom half. And maybe your leaves or lips are whispering something. Maybe you want to write some words coming out of the lips or the leaves. I'm going to draw some behind. See, I'm busy here taking inspiration from Jess Miller. And she's got some leaves behind her lemons. Maybe just a couple of floating dots here and there. That's quite nice, I think. On there. But quite a relaxing Monday morning drawing, don't you think? And I'm also going to go in and add a little bit of detail to the lemons by adding some dots. So, because they kind of got like porous skin, haven't they? So if you just draw or mark with a few little dots, it can kind of give the impression of depth. So I'm just doing it around the edges. Show you even closer. So I want to build up here because that's where there's often a bit of a crease. You can even draw a little line there. And up here as well. Just gives the lemon a little bit of life there compared to just the flat look of these ones. Now, I am aware though that doing this technique with my fine liner will mean that when I come to paint it, these dots will remain a little bit wet for only a few minutes or so. But if you're painting it immediately, you want to be careful when you're doing dots with fine liner, because obviously they're just a dot of wet ink, whereas usually when you draw a line, you're kind of spreading out that dot, so it dries a lot quicker when you're drawing lines. So you just got to be a little bit aware, because otherwise you get a nice black smudge with your watercolors, which is not always desirable. I'm going to do a bit of a suggestion of shadow, this one underneath this one. Do you see how the dots just kind of bring it to life? Same with this. The little cross at the bottom is just like the little nuggety bit, you know, at the end of a lot of fruits. So you can either make that into something or just leave it as a little cross. I quite like the simple look of the cross, but now I've done that on all of them. So lemons though, such a treat. Lemons, you know, put a slice of lemon in your water and all of a sudden you're fancy. Or lemonade. Whenever I'm hot in the summer, it's always like a lemonade that I crave. When you're like really dehydrated and you're on a walk or something, you're like, oh, yeah, water's all good and that, but lemonade, fizzy, sweet, it's the best. Although here in Germany, in Berlin, they've got Fritz lemonades. Well, they call all flavors lemonade. I find it so odd. Germans, if you're listening, then you can maybe explain to me why. But yeah, they have a brand called Fritz, which is like the fizzy pop brand of drinks, which are really good. But they have lots of flavors, like they have rhubarb, lime, cola, orange, matcha, lemon. But they call them all lemonade. So I used to work in a bar, and then people would say, "Oh, can I have a lemonade?" And then I'd bring them a lemonade, like a lemonade, and they'd be like, "Oh, I wanted the rhubarb lemonade." I'm like, "What? That's rhubarb-aid then." Anyway, I used to that caught me out a few times. Or they'd say, "What flavors of lemonade do you have?" And I'd be like, I mean, are there flavors of lemonade? And then I realized. So that's a fun story, isn't it? Yeah, for your Monday morning, getting you off to a good start. I'm kind of enjoying how this is coming out. I think I'm gonna maybe paint the center stalk a bit darker, but I think I'm gonna stop with the drawing. I probably could continue for a little while, but let's do a little bit of painting before we go. But feel free, if you're not painting, because you don't have your paints with you or you don't have paints, then feel free to continue working away at it. I'm going to pop this on there and try not to ruin my lovely pouch by my friend Lindsay. Let's get, maybe I'll just paint, see, I always just want to paint the background first. I'm going to paint the background a blue. I've got this ultramarine blue here. Maybe I'll mix it with a bit of my indigo to just get it going a bit quicker, and a little bit of my sap green. Give a kind of turquoisey, nice blue. Lots of water. And I'm just going to do a really rough background paint. I'm going to try not to hit any of the drawing, and just kind of wiggle it in with lots of water. I'll paint the leaves a different colour. So, like, you could also paint everything but the lemons, you know, painting the leaves if you wanted to do the leaves kind of blue colour. But I'm just going to experiment with seeing how it looks, just painting the background. Maybe leaving the leaves or the smiles. Do you think I'm cheesy, guys? I don't know. I thought it was cute for a Monday morning, maybe brighten your mood to draw lots of smiling lips. Sometimes it's interesting to look at things that we, think are a certain way and look at them in a different way. So, for example, if you say, okay, I want you to draw a leaf, most people will probably draw something like that. But if you say, I want you to draw a pair of lips smiling, you probably came up with something slightly different, maybe. That was the thought pattern behind that instruction, by the way. But if you actually look at leaves, they are, of course, all very different. But I can bet your bottom dollar that majority of people would draw something that resembles what we've drawn today when asked to draw a leaf. Maybe not. Maybe it's just my dull imagination when I think about drawing a leaf. I don't know. So I quite like how in the middle bit here it's kind of taken more of a greeny turn. And then on the outskirts, it's more blue. This is actually a good little way to paint if you're waiting for those dots to dry. And blue and yellow look really nice together, although you don't have to paint them yellow, you could paint them a different colour as well. But I kind of like this kind of patchy, I've done such a light wash anyway, and it's on textured paper, I must say, so that's why it's done as well, the kind of this patchy technique too. So if you're on flat paper, I usually use flat, I just ran out of the flat one in this size. Then it kind of looks dreamy, and then I'm going to go in and add. So normally I'd paint all of the lighter colours first, because if I paint the dark colour of the stem and then I get it wet again when I'm painting the light colour of the lemon, the dark colour can run in here. Whereas if I paint the light colour first of the lemon, wait for it to dry, and then I paint on top with the dark, there's less risk of it coming into the lemon if the lemon's already dry. So that's a really good tip. It's like when I'm painting my my NessDoes images, I always paint my hair the last, because it's like the darkest, usually one of the darkest bits of the painting. And if you paint my hair on my illustrations first, and then I go to paint my face, I'll often reactivate the hair and it will come into the face, if that makes sense. So that's a little tip. Always start with your lighter colours first, because they're less likely to intrude. I've got a little bit of an orangey yellow situation going on here. I think I'm going to add a little bit more red to my cadmium yellow. This is a very strong yellow though. And let's just go in. Yeah, nice. This is a special kind of lemon. They're slightly orange. And I'm just going to do really cash. I'm just doing one layer, I think, of colour. So leaving little highlights of the white page to suggest light. But this is a casual paint day. I haven't painted on stream for ages, have I? Linktober and everything, didn't really get much paint action going. Get a bit more of that yellow on there. Make sure to keep the water, keep it nice and watery. And just spilling across from one to the next, getting that colour on. Not worrying too much about it. We're not really thinking about the light source or blah blah blah. I'm trying to get a little bit of light on each of the lemons, but not worrying too much about exactly where. It's Monday, we're easing ourselves in. Let's get a little bit more of the yellow here though. Quite like such a strong yellow. It's so gorgeous. Cadmium yellow. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. And then maybe do a little bit of, well, we've got to be careful because everything's a bit wet. So maybe we'll just paint the little berries, but I want to do like little pink berries. I know that that's not true of a lemon tree, but you know, this is our reality. So maybe you did little berries too, or little round bits. Just going to do the ones that I know are pretty dry around it. That one's a little risky. Weep. Living life on the edge here. Is that all the berries? I think so. And then I'll give just a suggestion of the stem, although I'm going against everything I've told you about waiting for colours to dry before painting the dark bits. But let's just be really careful. Start it off there. Careful not to touch any of the obviously wet bits. I wanted to make it a little bit more raw, no, burnt sienna-y, but I haven't got that colour on my palette squeezed out. So we've got a nice brown. Bring it down here to these ones too. Ooh, riskiness. Okay, but do you see how it kind of like gives a bit more of a pop there? And then the leaves, I was thinking maybe like a purple. Is that too much? Is that going to be too much purple? This purple's a wild colour though. It will really do its own thing. Maybe I'll do an under thing of purple and then just see. Leave it there for a bit, come back to it later and decide whether purple works or not. I want them to be dark, so could always paint over them. Again, just really cash. Going wild with our colours, but keeping the painting cash. No worries here. No worries, man. Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. And we're going to leave it there for today. It's been a longer video, 27 mins. And I'll show you a little close-up of what I've got up to. And that's just one quick layer of colour. Of course, you could make it more detailed by painting in layers. We've discussed before about painting in layers with the watercolours. Just paint with the lighter tones first, wait for them to dry, and keep building up those layers to create depth. It's always a really good way of making realistic paintings. But I hope that you enjoyed today's session and you're feeling good on your Monday and ready to face the week now. Yes. I'll be back here tomorrow for another session, for Tuesday's session, and let's see what we're going to tackle then. But until then, take care of yourselves. Send pictures of your work to me via Instagram because I love to see what you guys came up with. It always makes my day. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye.